Number one, for this new project, one of the things that I'm going to need from you guys is to select someone, a famous person, to design for. So you're making a specific outfit for a particular star. You can look to all different types of music, pop culture, television, movie stars. You can go to athletes. You know what, you can even do people who are no longer with us, you know, or even historical people. But what we want to do is that we want to find a sort of muse, somebody who, you know, sticks out for you in terms of their style or their look or who they are in the world or their importance. And think about them attending the 2021 Met Gala. And your job is to kind of choose someone. So for me, I've decided to choose Shaquille O'Neal. And I just like Shaq. So, you know, it was my favorite player when I was growing up. So I'm going to design for Shaq. Obviously, I'm going to go with menswear. The next thing you want to do is we want to think about the theme of this year's Met Gala. And the theme this year is 150 years of fashion. So, you know, that opens up to any fashion trend that you want to look at or you want to look for. So, you know, fashion of the 70s. You know, fashion of the 60s, 50s, 40s, turn of the century, the 1920s. I decided to go with the Victorian era, which is pretty much 150 years ago. And that is going to be where I look for my inspiration. I like the idea of these very sort of ornate jackets and top coats. I wanted to design something for him with a top hat since he's so tall. I wanted to make him appear even taller. So basically what we're doing is you're looking for some inspiration and you're looking for different images. Now, I've already collected a bunch of images and saved them as part of my inspiration board. So right now what I want to do is I kind of want to put all that stuff together so I can submit it. So you can see I've already gone to Photopea and I've opened up the picture of Shaq that I saved. I've got a few pictures from men's Victorian fashion that I like, that I wanted to use as inspiration. So now my job is to put that all together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up whatever pictures that you find for your particular project, and you're going to go to File, New, and then New Project window is going to pop open for you. You want to go, forget about all this stuff. We want to get down to beneath the Create button. There is Social, Print, Photo, Screen. We want to go to Print, and then we want to go to Letter. So you'll see 8.5 by 11 letter. We'll just click that. All right, so that's under Print, a New Project, Letter, and we'll hit Create. And what you should have is you should have basically a blank white document. And now all we're going to need to do for this is to basically copy and paste and arrange our images. So I'm going to go to the Shaq image. I'm going to go to the picture. I'm going to hold down Control, press A. That selects all. And Control C will copy. I'll click to my new project and I'll paste. I can grab my Move tool and I can move him wherever I want. Everything tends to paste dead center in the picture. I want to put him up to the side. I might decide that I want him to be a little bit bigger. So while I have the Move tool selected, I'll go to the Move tool and I'll go to Transform Controls. And I'll click that. And when I have the Transform Controls open, I can sort of stretch this picture out. Control Z would be to undo things. To stretch this picture out without like ruining it, you want to hold down Shift and click in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and make Shaq a little bit larger. When I have him the way I want him, I'm going to hit Enter. Then I'm going to go to one of my other pictures, Control A, Control C, go to my new project, Control V. Tends to be a really tiny picture, so I'm going to hold down Shift, make it a little bit larger, just pull it to the side for now. Hit enter, Control A, Control C, my project Control V, just a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to go add all my pictures. Control A, Control C, Control V. Just move them out of the way, and then afterwards I can go around and kind of play with them in terms of size and scale and everything. So it's, once you know what you're doing, the process is really just repetitive. So Control A will select all, Control C will copy, and Control V will paste. If you're using the Move tool and you switch the Move tool to the Transform Control option, that means that you'll have the ability to make it bigger and smaller. And again, to make it bigger and smaller, you really have to click in the corner. But if you don't hold down Shift, you're liable to sort of ruin the proportions of the picture. So keep that in mind. Once you resize a picture, you should always hit the Enter key. So Control A, Control C, and Control V. If you do it the way I do it, most likely the pictures that you get from the internet will be significantly smaller than your workstation. That's good. That's probably going to be the easiest way for you to work. But if your pictures happen to be much, much larger than like this one is right over here, you still have to shrink them down a little bit. So make sure you hold down. My computer was lagging, so I hit Control V twice, which gave me two versions of this. So I'm going to go over to my layers. I'm going to go ahead, click on that layer, and delete it. So right now I have my images. I think I like the way I set them up just off the bat. So I'm not going to go ahead and do too much changing. I'm going to turn off my transform controls. I can always click on different layers here and we sort of adjust them. Last thing I'm going to do, just because I'm not going to know all the stars that you pick, is I want you to take the text tool, and that is on your toolbar. It's the letter T. When you select that letter T, you'll see things change up top over here. This is your font. You can see the different fonts that they have. This is like regular. Some fonts come in italicized or bold. This would be the size of the font. You don't really know how big it's going to be until you type. And this will be the color. I don't think I want yellow, so I'm going to click on that color picker. I'm just going to make it black. And then I'm going to go ahead, and when I have the type tool, I'm just going to click anywhere. It's automatically going to create a text layer. And in that text layer, I'm simply going to type out my star's name. And if you notice, once you type, if you move away, if you move over the type, you're going to see you have that cursor. But if you move off of the type while you're still on the text tool, you're going to notice you have this cross. And that cross is the move tool. I'm going to move this around and place it. When I have it the way I want it, I'll just click on a different layer. And then I'm going to go to another tool just for a second. Doesn't matter what tool. I'm going to click back to the text tool. And I'm going to go ahead and make another text layer. And I'm going to put Victorian fashion. Alright, and I think that's a little bit on the big side, so I'm going to highlight it and I'll adjust the size of it here. So what I have here is I have my star. I have a label of my star with a label of like the era or style that I'm going for. I have the picture of him, and I have a lot of inspiration pictures that I put up otherwise. This is going to be my inspiration board. And you can add as much to this collage as you would like, but I do need to see a little bit more than just two pictures in there. Now, once you have that together and you have it the way you want it, you'll go File. You'll save it as usual, just so you have a copy of it. And then what I would like you to do is export as a JPEG. All right, so export as a JPEG. And when that pops up, you probably want to make the quality 100%, hit save, and that'll be the picture that you have it. And this is the picture that you will submit for the project that is create an inspiration board for the Met Gala. So when you're done with that inspiration board, you're going to go ahead here, and this is where you upload your student work. So that is how to create the inspiration board. That's 25 points. That is 10 or 15 minutes worth of work on your part. It'll take you longer to find the images that you want than it will be to put them all together. Fairly repetitive process. I will post this video